Are you craving butternut squash? Do you have a hankering for lots and lots of roasted garlic? Do you like dipping your buttery grilled cheese sandwich into your soup like biscuits and gravy? Then baby, this is gonna be your recipe, because this has to be the coziest, feel-goodiest, creamy roasted garlic butternut squash bisque with a grilled cheese sandwich on sourdough bread using toasted black truffle butter. Oh my goodness, it is so good. So let's get started. Well, hello there, cutie pies. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm gonna be doing a little jig before we get started, and I always cook with the music playing. So this is gonna be a voiceover just so I don't get demonetized. So first step is to take care of the vegetables. I have a whole clove of garlic that needs roasting, so I chop off the end without the root, and make sure to buy USA garlic. Like if you're in the grocery store, if you're shopping at Walmart, this is from the brand Spice World, and they source garlic from all different countries. So make sure it says USA on the wrapper. And as you can see, you just want part of the tip showing so you can give it a good squeeze later. And then I just put it in my little mini cocotte and douse it in olive oil. So she is going swimming. And then I'm gonna top it with some salt. This is one of the best olive oils that I've ever found at Walmart. It has amazing flavor and it's really easy to track to the source. But now we're gonna start chopping our vegetables. So 4 peeled carrots, and you just want them rough chopped. It doesn't have to be anything special, just minus the tips and the booty butts. And then we're gonna include 1 large onion. And I mean, look at the size of this thing. It is nearly the size of my noggin. When I saw it in Walmart, I was like, you're coming home with me. So I just quarter it. And then finally 2 butternut squash. These specifically are from my garden, but I have bought a mini of butternut squash from Walmart and they are delicious. So no problem there. And I just chop the head off and then scoop out the insides, which sounds really disgusting, but hey, you know, it's almost Halloween. And you just want to make sure that you get all of the stringy bits out because they nasty. And I'm just going to transfer every single morsel to a large foiled cookie sheet because the less that I have to clean later, the better. But I always like to score the butternut squash before it goes into the oven because it helps it cook more quickly, and then also helps all those good seasonings to seep on in there as well. Speaking of seasonings, we're gonna drizzle the carrots, the onion, and the squash all with olive oil, a hefty bit of sea salt, and freshly ground pepper. I add the garlic cocotte to the baking sheet as well, and we're gonna roast everything for about 2 hours or until everything is very tender in a 300-degree already preheated Fahrenheit oven. So while the veggies are percolating in the oven, I'm gonna start preparing the grilled cheese. And this is the butter that I found at Walmart. It says it's black truffle butter. And while I will say that it does have like black mushrooms floating around in there, they are not black truffles. I repeat, they are not black truffles. It's actually portobello mushrooms that's in there. I feel a little hoodwinked. I didn't realize that until I started filming this video and I filmed the back of it. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but the butter is still delicious. Do with that information what you will. As far as like the bread goes, baby, it is sourdough or nothing in my opinion. Sourdough just makes it so much better. And I love this like minimal ingredient sourdough bread from Aldi. This has to be the best like mass market sourdough that I've ever eaten. Like it's a crispy treasure. This one might be a little controversial, but I love spicy, and the ghost pepper cheddar cheese from Walmart is just my go-to. It's just scrumdiddly-umptious, but you can use any sort of cheddar cheese that tickles your tummy. Like a smoked cheddar cheese would be utterly delightful. So when the vegetables are done, they should be very tender, slightly browned, I would say, and bubbly. Bubbly is what you want. And now for my favorite part, we're just gonna squeeze that garlic out, and oh my goodness, that is just so satisfying. And this one squirt me a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just gonna scoop all that yummy, delicious, like nutty butternut squash from its skin. It really doesn't hurt to have a couple of pieces in there, but I don't like it at all. I can tell like the textural difference. But I use like the nitrile barbecue gloves over a cotton glove to keep me from burning my hands, because every single thing is gonna be scalding hot at this point, and then I transfer it into the pot. Speaking of pots, we already have this one warming up, so it's probably at a medium-high temperature, and I already added about 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I'm also going to add 16.9 ounces of chicken bone broth, and we're going to bring it to a boil. And I love bone broth because it's so nutrient dense, it's got a lot of protein, and it just makes everything taste better. I'm also going to be adding a teaspoon of sea salt and then a teaspoon and a little of cayenne pepper. You just got to measure that with your heart, but my Cajun ancestors say cayenne pepper is good for you, so the more the better. So once it's boiling for like a minute or two, I'm going to be adding the heavy whipping cream, and to me, the brand really matters because the flavor of this one cannot be beat, y'all. I'm telling you. So this one is from the brand Organic Valley, and it's a full pint. So I know y'all don't judge me. Also, for good measure, I'm going to be throwing in a little Pi-yahhhh from my fellow Louisianian Jason DeRuin, aka the Cajun Ninja, here on YouTube, and I'm going to be bringing it back to a boil. Now, you could do this next step probably 100 different ways. You can use a handheld emulsion blender. You can even do it by hand if you want to, but my Ninja blender, speaking of ninjas, is the quickest, and I just ladle every single thing right into the blender. If you have more than the blender can handle, then you just do this in like 2 separate parts, but this recipe specifically equals to about, I would say, 9 cups or so, which is right there at the max fill line. And you're just gonna absolutely puree your heart out. So you're gonna do it on high for about 2 minutes. You can get on TikTok, you can share my video, you can text your family, and then again, you're gonna do it on low for about 2 minutes. And it should have, after it's all said and done, be a very smooth consistency. If it's not, then you're just gonna wanna do it longer. And while that's over there doing its thing, we're gonna be doing our thing by preparing this unbelievable grilled cheese to adorn the bisque. So I'm heating up my pan about medium heat, and I'm gonna add about 2-ish tablespoons of the truffle butter. And after it's good and melty, but before it starts to brown, we're gonna add the bread directly to the pan, and we're just gonna make sure the butter is like equal on both pieces of bread. And then we're gonna load up that spicy cheese, just disperse it a little here, put a little there, cover it with the already buttered other slice of bread, and then we're gonna lid it. Personally, for me, I do not like it when my bread is overcooked and my cheese is underdone. I like it to be very balanced. So that's why we're gonna put the lid on. You just wanna kind of babysit it for a little bit, and then we're gonna flip it and then lid it again. And then once that cheese is all ooey gooey and trying to escape from the sides and the middle, that's when you know it's done. Now, I'm just gonna say that I was kind of dumb and I forgot to add any sort of garnishes or anything. But you know, in my opinion, it doesn't really need a garnish. Like, a garnish is more for looks than for flavor. And I mean, if you wanted to add a little bit of cream, you can do that, or a little like bacon bits or some croutons or something, that would be really good. But parsley, all that stuff, it's not really needed. And y'all can see I am chowing down and could not be more unflattering. I don't need no bacon, and I don't need no more cream. This was a damn good meal, y'all, and it's hearty. It really sticks to your ribs. It's a real crowd pleaser, and I mean, it's super budget friendly. What more could you ask for? That is really good. All right, y'all, that is going to do it for this creamy butternut squash with roasted garlic bisque recipe. I hope y'all found this video helpful, enjoyable, and a little bit informative. And as always, thank y'all so much for watching. I always appreciate each and every one of you. Please stay safe and stay healthy in this wild, crazy, weird world, and I'll be seeing y'all very soon. Bye.